Turns out, recycling is no fairy tale and may instead be a cunning chemical killer. The first clue that all is not as it appears was Keep America Beautiful's redirection, making it the consumer's problem to deal with all the waste from the products their founding companies produced, focused on recycling instead of producing less wasteful products. Very clever indeed. But not to worry, we are on the case. If their focus truly is on recycling, then they probably support initiatives that increase recycling rates, like container deposit legislation, better known as bottle bills. Bottle bills are when a consumer pays a few extra cents for a product in a recyclable bottle and then gets that deposit back when they return the bottle. Bottle bills are all over the place, like in Germany, South Korea, many Canadian provinces, and a few US states, and consistently increase waste plastic collection rates by offering an economic incentive to consumers. But people against bottle bills, like big plastic bottle producers, cite how these systems divert valuable plastic waste from curbside collection programs, are too narrowly focused, and can be costly to set up and run. Costly for the companies who produce the bottles, that is, as it's us regular Joes who pay for curbside recycling programs with our taxes. Maybe it really is just all about the green with these companies. Green, as in money. Aha! A second clue. Let's continue following the plastic trail to see what legislation the industry does support. Time to head down to Laredo, Texas. In the early 2000s, fed up with plastic bags littering their city, Laredo citizens proposed a ban on plastic bags. They were opposed by Laredo merchants, Texas retailers, and the progressive bag affiliates of the American Chemistry Council, a trade group for American chemical companies. Their main argument against the ban was that people wouldn't shop as much if there weren't plastic bags. And remember, they said, if there's a litter problem, it's the people's fault, because plastic bags are recyclable after all. The people had spoken, however, and in June 2014, the city council passed the bag ban. Wait, there's more. The merchants then sued the city. They said the bag ban was illegal because of a 1993 Texas law that states cities can't manage trash by banning or restricting containers and packages, claiming that plastic bags are trash containers because people use them as garbage bags. The case made it all the way up to the Texas State Supreme Court, who agreed, making bag bans illegal in Texas. What a good thing for plastic bag manufacturers. And clue number 3 for us, that the plastic industry's intentions may not always be pure. But who really is the plastic industry? Plastic producers, for sure, like fossil fuel companies, but it's a much bigger party than that. Think about it. Plastic is everywhere and in almost everything. It's not just grocery bags and soda pop, but also in toiletries and electronics and stationery and cars and furniture and electronics and clothing and stationery, clothes and furniture. And cigarettes. You know that filter in the butt of a cigarette? That's cellulose acetate, which is plastic. And the tobacco industry's new big sellers, e-cigarettes and vaporizers, also often contain plastic. You remember the tobacco industry, right? The industry that paid scientists to say that cigarettes don't cause lung cancer, even though there has been evidence for that connection since the 1950s? Yeah, the industry who created the playbook for how to refute true scientific claims, the playbook that chemical and plastic companies use today to refute evidence of the dangers and impacts of plastic? Yeah, that tobacco industry. They're part of plastic. Clue number 4. Is that really necessary? So, the results of our investigation show that plastic producers and profiters refuse to see their profits diminish, hailing recycling as the key, while fighting improved waste plastic collection bills and single-use plastic regulation, preferring once again to blame the people for littering. But the people have caught on. Just like with cigarettes, people are no longer falling for the fairy tale and are demanding change. Like how, in the 1990s, people pressured McDonald's to phase out their use of polystyrene packaging, number 6 plastics, a material made with notorious ozone-deteriorating chemicals like chlorofluorocarbons and hydrochlorofluorocarbons, or CFCs and HCFCs. And recently, public pressure has led to many giant plastic polluting companies like Coca-Cola, PepsiCo, and Nestle to voluntarily set ambitious goals to develop more sustainable business practices like using more recycled plastic, innovating new recyclable packaging, and recycling more overall. And I mean, they got rid of straws! On the surface, these shiny new goals look great, right? Wrong! Well, no, they are great, but they could be a shiny new attempt at misdirection. Because these goals are voluntary, the companies won't be held accountable in any legal way if they don't succeed. They're just asking us to trust them, which is difficult considering their track record of intentionally misleading us. And all of these goals are still about recycling. And because it's cheaper and easier to make things out of new material, even if they increase recycling rates, there's no economic incentive for them to use recycled materials in their products. It's just like it was in the 70s, even though we knew back then that recycling was far from perfect, and it hasn't gotten much better since. Join us next time to test the global recycling system and find out the conclusion to this cunning chemical caper.